All right. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Couch Warrior podcast. As always, I'm your host, Mike, and today I'm going to be speaking to up and coming middleweight Reese Watkins. What's up, brother? Thank you for coming on. How you doing?
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. I'm good. Good, man. Can't
You are
complain.
still at middleweight, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, word, cool. So before we hop into like how you got into MMA and all that, I actually found out about you from Carl Williams because I think it was 2 weeks ago when he fought, right?
Yeah.
During his, it was either
Top.
before his fight or after. I don't remember,
It was
but
his meeting day. Yeah.
it was what?
I think it was like his clip or whatever we talked about. Me, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, yeah. When he was like, he was saying how he's like slowly making waves, and he's like, this kid is gonna make waves.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
How,
hmm?
how'd you feel about that?
It was that was one of the coolest things of that's happened to me. Honestly, I sent it to my mom and my dad. I was like, "Yo, look at this." I sent it to my coaches, and it was pretty cool. Because my friend messaged me, he was like, "Watch the end of Carl's media day," and I was like, "Okay." And I was just saying at home, I was like, "Yo, this is crazy." So it was super cool to see.
Did you know he was gonna do that, or you had no idea?
Nah, I had no idea. Had no idea.
But you guys trained together?
Yeah, so we're both out of Team Lima in Georgia, and then when I go to Vegas to train, he trains in Vegas for his fights too. So when I go to Vegas, I'm around. We just hang out a lot at Extreme. So yeah.
Cool. Were you at his corner or?
No, I wasn't. No, I went home like a week before he fought. So
Gotcha.
yeah, yeah,
Well, hopefully you'll be in the cage soon yourself. You won't have to be in no one's corner.
yeah.
But let's get into how you got into MMA, how you got started. Is it something you always liked? Is it something that came later?
Nah, well, I guess a little bit later. I wasn't like wrestling or whatever since in middle school. Nothing like that. I did jujitsu a few times a week with I just went with my uncle to jujitsu school in Atlanta. Um and then that school ended up closing locations and ended up reopening later. But we switched to going to a different gym in Atlanta, and they had a coach named Bruno Frazado, and he competed at ADCC, and he was friends with or is friends with Davi Ramos and Wilson Hayes.
Mhm.
So one of them, I think it was Davi, was up in Atlanta or something, just with training with Bruno. And yeah, a little while later, Bruno asked me if I ever thought about MMA, and then he's like, "I think you'd be good at it." And I was like, I'll check it out. And I started doing Muay Thai and boxing, and then I took my first Muay Thai fight when I was 17, and kind of went from there.
Sheesh. And
Yeah,
then your first amateur fight, you were 18, right?
yeah, I was.
How was that doing it so young? Were you shook or were you like whatever?
Uh, you know, a little bit. I was obviously nervous. It was an interesting experience because I was still in high school. So it's like you go fight on the weekend, and you have then you have homework due. That you have homework due at Saturday night, whatever. So it was a little weird, but it was cool. It was cool. I've been fighting. I mean, I'm an adult, but I've been fighting like grown men since I was, a kid, pretty much. So it was interesting.
Yeah, I can imagine. I used to wrestle and like I had nerves doing that. And if I pulled up and a dude had a tattoo, I already
Yeah,
knew I was losing.
right? Yeah.
But are you training full time now?
Yeah, I do. I train full time. I still have like a side job, but I'm managing, and I train full time. Train twice a day. About 4 or 5 hours a day. Yep.
Oh wow. So you've been like super active since you went pro. You're fighting like all the time. Do you have anything lined up yet or like any idea
Yeah.
what's next?
So I'm fighting in like 2.5 weeks. I'm fighting at NFC in Georgia. I'm fighting Josh Mercado April 20th, and then I'm fighting for NFC again June 21st. I'm main eventing that card. But yeah, I have two fights lined up. With a decent amount of time in between. So I'm just trying to stay active, trying to build my record and keep the exciting fights coming.
Any chance you know Jared Gooden?
Yeah, I do. I used to train with Jared back in the day.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool. Because I actually spoke to him not too long ago. Also, I know that he fought at NFC and all that too. So
yeah,
I was curious.
yeah. I know Jared. hmm
Cool. What's been your hardest fight so far for you?
Um, Either my last amateur fight or my first pro fight. My last amateur fight, I was winning the first round and got dropped like in the last 6 or 7 seconds of it. Um, and then I came back and finished them in the second. But that was the first time I'd ever been dropped. So that was a new experience. And then my first pro fight, just I started really slow. I took a bad knee to the face in the first round, and I kind of to like wake up and like get myself back in the fight. And then I came back in and beat the hell out of him in the second round, and then got the finish in the third. But it was between that my last amateur fight with Jacob Hall, or my first pro fight with Jerry's.
What's
Yeah,
it like when you like get dropped in the first or get hurt in the first and you got to come back? Like, what's your thought process when that's happening, if you even have one?
I distinctly remember when I got dropped. The first thing I thought was, why is everything sideways? Why is everything sideways? And I'm like, why is my butt on the ground? And then it started kind of clicking. I was like, okay, defend, defend, defend. And then it was the last 10 seconds, so the bell got called. And then I remember going back to my corner and asking, I was like, did I get dropped? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, did I lose that round? And like, yeah, probably. And I was like, damn, man. Because I knew I was winning that round until I got dropped. So that was distinctly what I remember. And then, yeah, I recovered and was back in it.
Nice. That's good. It's important to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Um, what's your plan going forward? I know you said you had a few fights planned for NFC. Are you hoping for maybe like a contender series shot soon, or are you waiting?
Hopefully, that would be the end goal. It was contender series. Hopefully this year, maybe next year. But contender series for it starts in August. So hopefully I can apply, get the call, and they like my body of work, and they're giving me opportunity. Or if not, I know one championship is coming to Atlanta in November, so that would be cool opportunity to fight on a pretty big promotion like that in my home city. That would be really cool. So it's between contender series and one championship right now. Hope
Yeah,
like far off goals.
I
Yeah,
have a gut feeling that if you keep going with the finishes, you're probably going to get that
yeah,
contender
hope.
series call.
Yeah,
They brought on guys with like 3-0, 4-0, 5-0.
yeah,
Wouldn't be
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Peyton Talbot was 4-0, I think, when he made a contender series. So hopefully, this fight with Josh I have on April 20th, and then my fight April or June 21st. If I beat get to 4-0, then 5-0, especially with finishes. Hopefully, I stand out and they take notice.
So far, you have been, brother. So I think you will, and I'm looking forward to seeing you there. If you
Yeah.
do, everything works out. You go to the contender series, you get the win. Do you have an ideal like first UFC opponent you'd want? Anybody who's caught your eye?
No, honestly, I'm just I don't know. Uh, no, I would just obviously take what I can get. I've been so focused on prepping for my these upcoming fights. I haven't really thought about who will be a dream fight or ideal fight in the UFC. I have no idea, honestly.
It's
Yeah,
probably a good thing that you're focusing.
yeah, yeah,
But all right, man, that's really all I got for you. Thanks for coming on. Real quick before we hop out, if you want to plug anything or shout out anything, go
yeah.
ahead.
Shout out to Barber Orthopedics for keeping me healthy and being able to fight, and shout out to Champ Camp Cookies. Weight cutting sucks, so having these low protein or low calorie, high protein cookies has been a godsend. So thank you to them.
Do you cut a lot of weight, by the way?
I used to. So I work with a nutritionist now. She works for PI. Shout out to Heather, she's great. Um, so I end up cutting about anywhere from 11 to 9 pounds of water. And I eat clean pretty much year round, and then when I have a fight, I tighten it up, yeah, and watch the calories more. So I diet down to about, ideally going into fight week at like 204, and then I'll go into weigh-ins, like weigh-in day, or day before weigh-ins at like 197. So yeah, it really around there. So not too much of a big cut. It helps having a lot of muscle on you. So I've been putting on more muscle and getting more cut to help with the water cut. So it's not terrible. It's not great, but not terrible.
It's never great. I remember when I used to cut. It's never fun.
No, no.
But all right, man. Thanks for coming on, and have a good one. Good luck with your fight. Looking forward to it.
Thank you,
And yeah,
man.
hopefully see you on the Contender Series soon.
Sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, brother. Peace out.
Yep.